What's going on, folks? Mad Scientist here, doing some shit, got crazy hair.
On the show, on the Chad Tegan YouTube channel.
So I've got the dash apart right now because ever since I put the throttle lock in, I've been having some issues with my speedometer. The trip is not working all the way. It's probably dark so you can't see that. So I decided I was going to take it out and take it apart and see if there was anything I could do. There's a piece of glass right there, goes to it. This cover that goes on here was a pain in the butt, okay? It like forms down around and it bends, so I basically had to, bend this right here. It's aluminum, like a little nice piece of aluminum. I took a one of them orange things I have with pokies on there, and I basically flattened that out to where I could pop it off. I'm getting ready to put it back together though, because I've had it apart. I've determined that there's really not much I can do besides hope and pray that when it goes back together, I fiddled around with it enough that it'll just work. So that's what it's like apart. Okay, right in there, look at that. Isn't that nice? Now there's a bolt here, or a screw here, and a screw here that I could take off, but if I do that, this is going to probably end up popping off, okay, because that just won't come off. I just can't pull that off and shove it back on. Maybe I could, but it just don't want to, so I'm going to leave that alone. But yeah, this guy right here, these numbers ain't keeping up, so I don't know what to do. But I'm just, like I said, I'm going to put it back together. I've stuck my fingers in there, messed around. Looks like there's a little motor right here that is supposed to make that go. So I don't know. Maybe that motor's just getting to be shot. May have to get this thing, send it out, find somebody if they can rebuild them and replace that or something, because I like this. It has this little KW right here. Okay, right there, if you can get your eyes on that. I don't think it's bright enough. Let me see if I can get, because it just looks dark. Right there, see that little KW sign? I like that. So I want to keep this one, and here's some gadgetry in here. Like I said, there's that little motor. But the guy that is the shop manager over the Petro says you can send them to somewhere up in Michigan. He sends his for his Chevelle, and he said that a guy will rebuild them. So I may have to do that. That's what might have to happen. I'm not sure yet. See if we can get this thing put back in the way it goes, because there's just basically a plug on the back and that's it. It's not like it's a bunch of different things. And like I said, I'd like to keep this one because it's the original one if I can. That's the goal. So yeah, she just pops in right here, and I don't know what these numbers and stuff are for right here on the back. Does anybody know what that is? Tell me what that's for. If that's some kind of code for the speedometer or whatever. If that's the case, just tell me, because I don't know, because I don't claim to know everything. But yeah, I cleaned the glass up the best I could while it was out. There was some funky spots here and there was some dirt corrosion in there from everything. So basically just going to pop this bad boy back on now, like so. And I'm going to have to go back in and basically bend this all back down the way it was to where I can get this to, seat properly and hold on tight, because then, we'll just throw it back in the dash. It's just got, this with a couple screws that, kind of peeled some of the plastic out on the one side. So we'll have to hope and pray that it holds tight. and we don't have our shit flopping around when we get her back in. But yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm also editing video, so that's why you didn't get to see everything, and I haven't been going through, because I'm trying to multitask and do two things at once, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I guess I'll just let you know once I get her back in if it worked or not. But I'm gonna have to go in the garage and find something to mash this stuff down with and just push it down. Okay, that looks like it was the bottom, because that's where all the dirt's at. So at least that's back in, and we can go from there. I'll just take a flathead or something and smash it back down. I don't think it needs to be necessarily smashed all the way around, but I'll probably do my best to get it as close as possible. That way it's not making any weird indentations or anything like that on that. Then I'll plug it back in, and we'll just hope it works, I guess. If it doesn't work, it's what it is, and I'll have to figure something else out to keep track of my miles for now, because yesterday I clocked 44 miles and I did 3 Napoleons, and I know that's way more than that. It's 290 miles maybe, or some shit like that, close to 300 I'd say. I don't know, but yeah, we got to get it taken care of, because I've been putting like 179. It's been working that much, but it's like every time I stop, it just stops working. And then when I start going, the speedometer's working fine. It's just the trip is not working, so we got to figure it out. Well, I got this thing all put back together, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't know. Basically took this little flathead that I used to there was a couple screws that I used to pull off the back, and I basically just used my thumb and pressed down and smashed around out on the outside. So it's probably about as good as it's going to get. It still turns a little bit. There's still a little bit of flare, but it's nothing major. It'll be fine when I can stick it back in the dash, and it's cool. I mean, like, it turns a little bit, but I'm not worried about it at all. So basically I'm just going to hook the back of it back up, and one of these come out and it peeled a bunch of plastic out, so that could be somewhat of a problem. And unfortunately it's just what it is. So I don't know. I'm going to you know, I'll stick it back on there, and if I have to put some kind of goop on there, I guess I could. You know, it's just, like I said, what it is. Here, we got a little bit of light here. Look at that. Look at this little light of mine shining here. And you can't see none, but it's blinded me. So it's what it is. You know, oh, that's the T20 bit. I'm about half retarded here. There you go. You see that little, peel that plastic off, so it's kind of opened up, but we'll see if it sticks or not. Oh, it's even brighter. Oh shit. Look at that, blinded. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I think you gotta hold it down to turn it off. God, please don't blind me again. There's this little cover, it's nice. But yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, it's a crapshoot. I just like taking things apart and seeing if I could do something with it, I would. But I mean, honestly, there's probably nothing else for me to do but what I did. If I gotta send it out, I'll send it out. So I'll give you an update though when I you know, figure it out and get it back and see what happens. If I'll probably run it down I might run it down the road, because I'm planning on backing it up in there and washing it. I've got to do a couple other things real quick before I do. But I do, you know, I'll fire it up and move it, because I'm going to pull it back into Wash Bay 1. So we'll see what happens. Well, I just ran it down the road and just pulled back in the driveway. When I took off, I had to tap on the screen like I've done before, the glass, to get it to move, because maybe it was stuck. I don't know. And as soon as I did, it jumped up a pretty decent distance. Let's kill this. We don't need it. Yeah, look at that shit, folks. That looks nasty. I'm going to have to pull over here. I just left Campbell's in Findlay. And I'm going to have to pull over here and roll up my windows and close my smoker's vents when I get up on the on-ramp to get onto 75, because if not, my shit's going to get lit. I got to come back to Findlay here in a minute and grab a Whirlpool, but I'm not trying to get soaked in the process of it. which I just looked on the weather map and it looks like it's going to be hammer time here pretty soon, but just looks gorgeous, don't it? Those nasty dark clouds and shit, the lightning coming down, the thunder. It almost looks like right over there it's coming down hardcore, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get up here and get this stuff closed up. I don't get soaked. I don't know though, we'll see. There goes the copper. We will see. I ain't gonna have enough time with this light, I can tell you that much right now, but whatever. Oh, there it is. It was like a brick wall, man. Everybody's freaking slamming on their brakes. I just, you know, I got the camera a little bit too late. I did get the windows and everything closed up, but man, look at that rain X just beating that water right off there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. A situation going on, folks. Just left the ramp about 5 minutes ago and I smelled something burning and I thought, what the fuck? Looked down and I seen my my power gauge was down and I thought, man, what the hell? So I thought maybe it was my belt squealing a little bit, burning up, and I thought, man, as I kicked the fans on, had a bad storm and shit, so all the windows are pretty much up. So I kicked the fans on real quick and I smelled something and I thought, man, is it the little buddy that I got from Steven or Greg Stevenson? And wasn't that, so I was like, what the heck? So then next thing you know, I'm sitting there looking and I'm like, yeah, it must be the belt, because I'd had all my lights on because I'd went through a pretty horrific storm, you know, so my lights, my running lights and all that shit were on. Well, everything went off and then I felt the dash and I felt it was warm and my one toggle switch right here is stiff to go up, so it's got to be something in here. You know, obviously they all went off, so I flipped them off. You know, hopefully we don't need no electrical fire, nothing like that. But the headlights do work, my flashers do work, so I just got my headlights off for now because I still have somewhat of light that I can see, so I don't necessarily need them right now, and I'm just hauling ass. And that sun was blinding me. So I had put, you know, some glasses on, but it's going down extremely quick. I just got to get to Campbell's and drop this fucking trailer, and you know, then I can boogie home, whether I throw my flashers on, and which is probably what'll happen, or, you know, I'll at least be able to pull that up and see what's going on in there. Hopefully it's nothing major, but I mean, if that switch is burnt out or one of the wires, you know, I'll just fix it, chase it down and fix it. So it's what it is. Yeah, but that sun is like blinding, and it's like glare from the window from the rain and stuff. It's just, ugh, sucks, but it's what it is. Yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll make it home regardless. If I gotta park the truck at a truck stop, call my wife and say, come and get me, or get a hold of somebody and say, hey, can you run me to the house? I'll just tell her, come and get me. I'll make her come get me. I'll park over to Pilot, just leave it over there or something. If needed, I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I'll park it over by the Pilot. It's a crapshoot what will happen. I'm almost positive I'll drive the bitch home. I don't usually leave my shit somewhere, so. And then if I need to, I'll go get me a new switch from the Maynards or one of the automotive places. And we'll fix it up. So we got the lights tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on. You know, maybe later if there's light when I do pull it up, because once I get home I'll pull it up if I make it home. If I don't make it home, I'll check it before. I just thought to myself, great, my truck's gonna end up burning up, having a freaking fire or something, and I'm not gonna be happy. It was at the ramp too when I first started smelling. I was sitting at the freaking
X gate, and I'm like, nope, I'll go through this. One of the gates was already messed up from the wind because we had some super heavy winds, and then rain for like 5 minutes, like a complete downpour, and then it just stopped. So it's what it is. But yeah, it should be a good time. No lights, can't tell what we're doing here. You know, I mean, I got light, I can point on that if I need to, but I can really tell how fast I'm going just by following somebody. I mean, I can only go 67, so it's what it is, you know. I'll run 67 if I got to, I guess. You know what I mean? Well, we back, obviously. That fuse was blown that was in there. And that thing just split right. I pulled that plastic and I had to pull those metal pieces out. And as soon as I replaced the fuse, I had the dash light. So it must have been something in that stupid fucking chassis, which isn't new. Stuff happens, you know what I mean? But in the switches, you can see the switch on this side right here. It's bowed out a little bit there. Let me see if I can hold this phone up. Get the light to where you can see. Right there. That one, that's why. But you can see how nasty them wires look. See how that's all bowed out right there? Yeah. And that ground, if you touch that ground, it sits there and flickers the lights off. But I mean, at least everything's working, so it's what it is. I'll have to dig in it a little bit tomorrow better. And you know, see what the fuck is going on. My fuel, it was reading half full, like it was accurate reading when it got wet. I was telling James Pretty the other day, the shit only works right when it rains for some reason. I put a straight ground on there, I fucked around, and there's got to be a short somewhere that I cannot find. So I'm gonna, you know, one of these days I get frustrated with it enough and deal with it. I've already fucked with it like 3 times, 3 days. Oh, look at that. Look at that guy. And I can't figure it out, so I don't know. It's getting irritating. You know, let's get this thing closed because I don't need it open. And I'll just throw this shit out because I don't need it. But, I mean, at least I got lights, so I'm not running home, you know what I'm saying, illegally without any. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean? That makes me happy. Until tomorrow. Man, that thing running, man. Look at that shit. Look at that damn shit, man. Look at that. Finally got that thing taken care of. I need to get something to fill that hole right there. Look at that. Isn't that something? Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Both working now. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that thing moving. Look at that shit bounce. Woo, bounce to the ounce, baby. Woo-wee. That's what I'm talking about, man. That thing is just on it, bouncing, baby. It makes me feel better. Finally got that thing working after like 3 weeks of pissing me off. Man, you don't know how bad that thing was pissing me off. But at least it's working. I'm just getting ready to park this thing back over here. Get over here, man. I park this thing, man. Get it back. Get me here. Watch him go, man. Watch him go. Nobody coming, man. Nobody coming, man. Coming, man. Geraldine, man. Down there, man. I'll bike it up. Ooh, look at that corn. That guy right there. Look at that guy. Yeah, I love that mirror. Look at that mirror. I love that mirror. a bunch of paint and splatter all over this from what I was just doing. Pull it forward just a skosh. I scraped all the paint off of up there. Off those. You know what I mean? So there's a bunch of chips all over. Look at that shit, man. Look at the damn shit. We gotta get that fixed, man. Get that fixed so I can get that thing back up there, man, one of these days. One of these days. And I gotta get this thing. I'll check that out. My mask, the buddy, and boom, look at that. Ooh, don't that look sweet? Yeah. Need to go right over there somewhere, man. Right over there. You probably say, oh, you got a spot right there, but I don't, because see how that crack is right there and that thing right there? Right there, up here. No. Well, we'll see. We will see. Oh man, what is going on today, folks? Oh, it's like a Tuesday or something after a holiday. Last holiday of the summer. Officially fall now, I guess. And church service. Let's talk about church service. Was it good to your boy, man? Was under the weather, first of all. And me and one other guy was working, and that was it. So I knew I couldn't call off because they needed me. They had 7 Finleys they needed, and they gave me 4 and 1 Napoleon. So I was like, okay. I took the day before off because I felt like shit. And knew I couldn't just bail on them because they would have been in trouble, you know what I mean? So I tried to do the right thing and go out and run. Well, wasn't a good day for starters. My mind wasn't there because I had like barely any sleep the day before. My body was killing me. And I just wasn't paying attention and focused like I needed to. And I thought, man, something's going to go wrong. And next thing you know, I get out to drop a trailer over to Finley, and I just jumped back in because I'm pissed about something, and my mind was somewhere else, and I left my airlines on, ripped them both off. And I didn't record anything on Sunday because I wasn't feeling well. So straight up pulled the spring out, the blue one, and I ended up just shoving it back down because I had other airlines and stuff in the truck, old ones that I could have swapped out like I did with the red one, but I couldn't get the glad hand fitting off the blue one. So I just shoved that line back down and prayed that it stayed together. But I was on my last load. You know, dumb thing that, you know, it happens. It's one of those things. And, you know, of course, I had to try to swap them out in the pouring rain, too. And it was just horrible. But I'm on my last load. I'm going to, there's a couple people, they're to the right side, you know, backing up and just 15 back and forth, couldn't get their shit. So I'm like, I can go to the left, and I can just go around the block, which, you know, there's a row of trailers. I go around by the big can of soup there. And so I do that. And there are things, there's spots in there where it dips down right before the docks. And it's like got the water draining grates and shit in there, and they're tile and stuff like that. So I go to turn left and I dip down. And while I'm doing that, this catches a chassis, and you hear whonk, bong, and it just fucking bends this up. And I watch it in the mirror spring back, and I see this, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm instantly pissed, but... And I'd been waiting for that to happen with one of these because I got my stuff set up perfectly to where I can't go any more forward on this fifth wheel plate because I'll be eating those chassis because of the way that landing gear is so close to these. And the JB Hunt ones, you know, this is so close in the first place that I'm almost, you know, when I get the JB Hunt ones, they're different. They're way closer than the other ones are to this. And I'm almost hitting this stuff when I'm going to turn in whatnot and jackknife. So it's really, it's hard to deal with this stuff, you know. I almost need my shit back here, but then if I do that, I'm throwing all my weights off because my fifth wheel's about at the perfect spot right now, the way it is on the truck. You know, that's where I want it for the weight to be distributed and the steers and everything like that. So I'm going to have to, you know, this is $200 here that I'm going to have to replace because I'll probably get a set of 2 new ones, but I'm just going to bin this out right now. the best I can, you know, because that's just this piece right here. So it's what it is, but it's completely disappointing that you can't have anything nice around here. You know, but it sucked, man. And I was just instantly irritated because, you know, I'm already not feeling well. I'm out here doing something that I don't want to be doing on a day where my mind isn't completely there. It's just one of them things, and one of them things, man. Just makes you contemplate life and what you're doing in it, and not even do it at all, to be honest with you. It's just irritating shit. And this, you know, that was just a stupid mistake because I wasn't staying focused, which I should have. You know, I should have been paying more attention to that stuff. I have a system where I usually get out, I'll unhook those, then I'll do everything else. You know, I'll pull the pin, the slider fifth wheel, or, you know, the lockjaw, and then I will crank down the landing gear, but I didn't. I went back to the landing gear first because I put my gloves on, then I went and grabbed the thing, and then I just jumped back up in the truck. Because usually if I'm at the ramp, what I'm doing now is I'll do that, I'll go in and I'll drop the air, and then I'll go around and I'll unhook that and do all the, you know, things. So you get off on your system and you start messing things up. So you gotta pay attention to that and get your system down. And I gotta get my system back to where it goes because I can't be doing that stuff. I don't like to be tearing my shit up. But I was telling the old wife, she was out a little bit ago about that, and she said, what do you do? I said, I'll probably just get some new ones. I'll stop by the truck stop. But then I thought to myself, I'll just steal the ones off the blue truck because they're right here, and I'm pretty sure these are both fresh. Well, at least I know, I'm thinking this one was fresh. One of these two were fresh, because I think I did, something happened. I think I was jackknifing the shit and ripped the red one, and yeah, that's why it is a brand new one. So I'm just gonna steal these real quick before, you know, I'm gonna wash the truck too, but I'm gonna steal these, that way I got them, and then I'll fix the other ones, and I'll just buy some new ones for this one when it comes time. You know what I mean? Because they ain't going nowhere right now. I'm still waiting on that freaking radiator. I did get a message saying that it's supposed to be shipping to 4 states from the vendor on 9/16, which it was ordered on 7/28. So seems like it's taken forever, man, and it's just kindly irritating, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to have to maybe call them up and say, hey, you gonna give me a discount or something, because this is getting kind of ridiculous. But I don't know, I guess it is what it is when you're waiting on parts. we go. Look at that. Got him. Now, if I could just get that to pound back down in there the rest of the way, I'd say it might be all right. I mean, I'm going to have this wrinkle regardless, you know. This is fucking bent too, so it's just what it is. Oh, there we go. I figured that would happen. Probably about as good as it's going to get right there. I got an idea. I'm gonna try and rolling. I banged on this just to try to get this to go down some. That way it's not catching every time. Hopefully it won't. You know, something you don't want to have to deal with, but it's what it is. You know, just another imperfection on Frank that, you know, it happens. But it's what it is. Oh, yeah, every time you move that, just pop back out. So, I don't know. I don't know. It just ain't gonna stay. You know, it's just what it is. You know, it's better than what it was, I guess, even though it's not perfect. Not perfect. Hey, look at that old thing. W900, buddy. Hey, look at this guy just rolling some coal here. This is buddy. They must be rolling together. That W900 and this guy. Hopefully get up here. Check out that sky. Isn't that something? Hey, man. Like we've got ourselves a Cabover convoy here. Yeah, man. Shoot.
And we're back live right here on the Chad Keegan YouTube channel, Trucking Edition Spectacular. If you can get your eyes on that thing. Dude, this guy's got a mad shoulder weight going on. And he's swaying all over the place. The right side of his trailer is pushed out too, where it looks like product is laying up against it. And I've been following this dude since before I got off 75. I am on State Route 6 right now, and I'm headed to Clyde. And I'm like, man, I want to pass this dude, but like, he's dog tracking him too, like a motherfucker. So it's not like I can just buzz around him, you know, because he's sticking out in the front and poking out in the rear over there. So it's one of those situations where it's just like, man, I got to sit behind this dude about 54. But it's what it is. Hopefully he'll turn soon. That's what I'm hoping, but I don't know. Just one of those days, man. It's just, I hate coming over here because either I got motherfuckers pulling out in front of me and going slower than what I'm doing when I get a decent run, or I get stuck behind everybody like this. And I don't think there's anybody. That was the closest car I had ahead